We set up a regular two-player game with these modifications. We orderly attach drafting markers to the drafting board. We choose Eva as an eternal opponent and prepare a proper Eva sheet. We prepare 8 Eva tactics cards, 6 wooden counter tokens, and both dice D6 and D8. We choose the player disc set for Eva. Place 2 elements drawn for Eva on numbered fields. Based on the rarity of the initial elements drawn, we set the player order like in a regular game. Eva uses D8 dice to pick elements. Each dice value corresponds to the marked position on the drafting board. Value 0, emulated by value 8 on prototype dice, is considered to be a miss. The first dice result during the drafting must match the position with available elements. If the D8 dice result matches the position of a free element, Eva places drafted element to her supply. On her next drafting turn, Eva rolls value 3. This result matches the position with orange element. Eva places the element to her supply. We see that Eva rolls even result not matching the position with the element. Eva picks a rarer element relative to her current token location. When selecting between positions with rarer elements, the following priority order shall apply. Least elements on position, position preceding player took element from, closest position to Eva's token location. As the dice roll missed the position with element, the element taken is placed on the lowest numbered empty field on Eva's sheet. Eva rolls 4 again. As there is no rarer element to her current token location, and there is no element on this location neither, she picks the closest, less rare element. As the roll was miss again, this element is also placed on an empty numbered field with the lowest number. There is only one element left for Eva to pick, but she must first roll the D8 dice regardless, so we know the element placement. She missed. Element is placed on numbered fields. The drafting phase is finished. Eva ends on the first position for terraformation, so she shifts 2 elements from the furthest numbered field to her element supply. Eva is a powerful opponent. To compensate for some of the human abilities, she can use any element as a wildcard. Mind that while preparing your strategies. This power of hers can't be used for a reservation, though. Eva must roll the D8 dice to show us her terraformation intentions. She rolls a value 3. We pick the tactics card with the corresponding number with the site intended for the first terraformation action within Eva's turn. This tactic requires terraformation of the tile releasing elements. The first preferred condition is the tile with the most points. There are 2 such tiles. As the second preferred condition can be met, Eva has 2 equivalent options for terraformation. We mark them with counter tokens 1 and 2 and use the Eva D6 dice for decision. Eva dice beautifully emulates the free dice when we have to decide between 2 or 3 options, so we quickly get the result. Eva's terraformation of the tile is performed by discarding elements from Eva's supply first, then from numbered fields, starting with the field with the highest number. She now has enough elements in her supply. As already mentioned, the rarity of the elements does not matter. The released element is placed on an empty numbered field with the lowest number. Eva gains points like any other player. For the next EVA's terraformation action, we get a dice result of value 4. Tactics card with this number requires minimum of 3 neighboring opponent's tiles. Logically, there are no such tiles, for Eva is the first player to terraform in the game. So we have to check the card with one higher number, and so on. Cards number 5 and 6 are restricted for the first round, so we end up with tactics card number 7. This is the second terraformation action, and we must ensure that we are looking at the correct side of the card. This card identifies eligible tiles with the least required elements. In our case, 2 tiles with 3 elements required. Both of these tiles are fulfilling the first and second priority conditions. Third priority condition cannot be fulfilled. We end up with 2 options for terraformation. I have wrongly marked 3 tiles when filming this video, but the tile with 4 required elements is not a valid option as indicated in the card description. In the end, the D6 dice result decided about the correct tile to terraform. Eva still has 1 white element left. Not enough for terraformation, but in the playing area there are tiles eligible for reservation. That means empty tiles neighboring terraformed tiles requiring white element. Eva has enough points for reservation, but she still must roll the D6 dice to decide if the element from the numbered field is shifted to the exchange zone. Eva rolls a 0, which is emulated on our prototype dice by the value of 8, which means match. The last element is shifted to the exchange zone and can be used by the next player. As a result, Eva cannot make a reservation this round. Like any other player, Eva expands Myraclia surface with tiles from tiles display. If she is missing only one surface type, and the tile of that type is present on the tiles display, she picks it. But this is not our case, as Eva is still missing 2 types of Myraclia surface. She needs 2 tiles for expansion from the 3 available. We use the D6 dice to identify the one not to be selected to speed up the selection process. We do not need counter tokens, as tiles display positions have default marking 1 to 3 from left to right. Tiles to be placed are picked randomly from hand. Eva adds new tiles in the following order: to empty space neighboring most of Eva's own tiles, while not neighboring any of the opponent's tiles. And if there is no such space, then to empty space neighboring most of Eva's own tiles. Eva's neighboring tiles include tiles reserved by Eva, but fully terraformed tiles have higher priority during consideration. Opponents' neighboring tiles include tiles terraformed or reserved by any of Eva's opponents, including another eternal opponent. In our situation, there is only one space neighboring both of Eva's terraformed tiles, so she places the first randomly selected tile there. The second tile can be placed on 2 eligible spaces, so we use D6 dice, emulating D3 dice, to select the one. Now we replenish the tiles display as usual, and the terraformation phase continues with the next player. As you can see, the game is very elegant and has a dynamic pace. Once you learn the rules, a thrilling solo session can be finished in less than an hour, including setup and backup time. Now we have finished the full round. 3 elements Eva receives from the terraform tiles are placed randomly on empty numbered fields, starting with an empty field with the lowest number up. A human player selects and places the Eternity token as they have lower points on the scoring board. If Eva has to place Eternity token, she follows the rules similar to her rules of Myraclia surface expansion. The game continues with the next round. Endgame conditions are the same as in a human-only game. I hope this hastily made video helped a little to understand the joy of playing against Eva. I will make a more detailed how to play video as soon as possible, including variants when playing against 2 eternal opponents, possibly with another human as well. Thank you for your support and have fun!